was recused in that matter, as I described, I guess, in a press conference that I held yesterday. The decision to issue this subpoena was made by the people who are presently involved in the case. The matter is being supervised by the Deputy Attorney General. I am not familiar with the reasons why the subpoena was constructed in the way that it was, because I'm simply not a part of the case.
It's my understanding that one of the requirements before compelling process from a media outlet is to give the outlet notice. Do you know why that was not done?
There are exceptions to that rule. I do not know, however, that with regard to this particular case, why that was or was not done. I simply don't have a factual basis.
That was Attorney General Eric Holder speaking about the Justice Department's seizure of the telephone records from AP editors and reporters. David Cay Johnston, you've said of the probe that journalists have a duty to watchdog the government and hold it accountable without surveillance or other interference. Talk about the probe and the Attorney General's defense at the hearing.
Well, one of the important things to keep in mind about this, Amy, is that AP found out about this information, told the government what it had, and as responsible news organizations do, when the government said, please, we're in the middle of an investigation, hold off, they held their story. Then the White House notified them that the next day it was going to go public about this, basically extending to AP the courtesy, because they had behaved well, of letting them break the story that they had held. Now, the outrage you're hearing from some members of Congress that this is something terrible the AP has done, and there are members of Congress saying that, is beyond belief, particularly for people who claim to be concerned about the Constitution, which, after all, includes a First Amendment to protect our religious free speech, petition, assembly, and press rights. In this case, I don't think that the Attorney General is correct. I don't think the exceptions apply here. There were no exigent circumstances. This was looking at something after the fact. And, you know, according to the FBI, they did 550 interviews, and they don't know who the leaker is. That's officially what they're looking for, who spoke to the AP. If they don't know, it suggests that, in fact, this may well be a story that came through some odd factor. I mean, the world is full of news stories that come about not because somebody issued a press release. But this is a very troubling sign. The 4,200 members of Investigative Reporters and Editors that I'm privileged to be the board president for, I'm sure we'll discuss this next month at our annual meeting in San Antonio. And we are taking steps to try and find out how far this reached and what the government's going to be doing in the future.